The number one reason and thing that people are wanting to know who are working in the gym business, the boxing game, is how can I get my program in a position that everybody knows about what I'm teaching over here, and how does this actually look? The first thing I'm going to do on this broadcast is make it clear on what the dashboard means. And what's the dashboards? It's the mechanics of what your biggest support should be when you're running your gym business. So we're going to get into it so it's clear to you, how does the dashboard impact the people that are following me, and the ones that I want to follow me? How do I get them into this web? Because you're teaching good quality boxing, you know enough about fitness, and you understand that you have something special. So how do you fix this? And to my brothers in the School of Boxing Top Trainer U program, this is where we are right now. So what we're going to do is show you how this all looks, and all of the different things that people are not telling you about when they're saying, oh, I'm doing these numbers. Oh, I have so many new customers and clients. Well, there has to be a denominator, and that's what you're going to learn. And I'm not going to just give you a nugget. I'm going to walk you through each component, and that's going to give you clarity as to what this is all about. Knowledge is power, first of all. So if you don't have a place where you get knowledge, make sure you take the time to connect so that you can get yourself in a circle. So the first thing that we're going to hop into, and for those of you who are new, make sure you take the time to have a pen handy, have something to write with right now. Don't play around, and don't take this for granted, because the way I'm going to give it to you, you can't really find it unless you're in some kind of a workshop. So, all of my brothers in the School of Boxing, welcome. And if you're not here yet or registered, get registered, because this is where the knowledge is happening. So, the first thing you got to know how to do is how to fix your business. Get the knowledge front and center. So, the first thing you got to learn about that plays a big role is what we call mini chat. The voice after the voice, when I do a live stream, or if I have a show and I say to the people in the comment boxes, I need for you to say yoo-hoo, YOOHOO. What mini chat does is take that algorithm and it picks up everyone who was in the comment box saying, excuse me, yoo-hoo. Why? Because that is the key phrase. And that sets your automation into autopilot. And it takes what you're doing and it says to that person, connect that person, make sure they get their email, make sure it gets their number, make sure it sets up an appointment to get them into your web. That's why mini chat is so important. Excuse me, I just did a very long, powerful stream with a couple of our students. Now you got to go to the next phase. So, how does this impact what you're doing? It responds for you, and it does your replies, and it gets to know the person for you, because the person on the microphone, like myself, just use me for instance because I'm here, is doing what I do. After I get done with that, I got another whole list of agendas. You don't want these people to be in a position where they feel like they're unattended. You've done it before. You've left messages, but sophisticated companies have ManyChat. And so, with that being said, people are charging upwards of $3,000 to $4,000, 2,000. Anybody under that, they're not good. They're just going to put you in a cycle of getting nowhere. It's not really automated. Now, there's automation and there's automated. Automated is when it's just going, but it's not changing anything. Automation is when it's in action. It has things moving. You start to get the traction. So, on to the next thing that you need to understand. Your metapixel. And the metapixel is your data resource. All of those people that went to your site, all of those people that came to your page, all of those people who are in your web, they're talking. It's what we call, it's dating them. And it's telling you about that date. It's saying that date is very interested and that date truly likes you. That is who you want to take the next relationship step and push it to that next echelon. So that's why it's important to understand what your Facebook or your metapixel have that embedded, because just doing ads and not having any analytics, or having a good page, not having analytics, it's just like going outside in a beautiful sunny day without a hat on, and you're going on the ocean and you're getting, your head's getting burnt, your skin's getting burnt. There always is a cause and effect to things, and there always is a method that you have to take certain precautions. And metapixel is important. People charge $300-$400 just to do your pixel, and that's not going all out if you got more than one page. Now we're in the yummy land of copywriting, the message specialist. What is your overall focus? If your focus is to get more people to your exercise boxing fit class, then the message has to be consistent, it has to be persistent, and it has to be clear as to what you're doing, what you're offering, and how can the people get it now. And that is a copywriter. They are a specialist. You are a person that does a post from time to time. And with that being said, that's not enough. Why do you think there are companies that are taking your money right now? When you go to Amazon, when you go to Apple, Google, all of these companies have a way to tap you on the shoulder. And with that, their messaging, you know that Amazon sells everything. They have a basically companies drop and ship there, and drop ship means they put their products there and they don't have to physically be there. They just know that Amazon has the interface of the entire globe and people order from it. And so if you want your products in your book, in your programs, or your, you selling blowers, you want them on Amazon because the most people are there. The next thing is your video editor that will take the content that you're doing and give it life by chopping up longer segments so that people can continue to hear pieces of your message. Because sometimes, like a lot of times when I do streams on the page, you'll see that I have long 40-minute to an hour and a half, sometimes even 2 hours. You'll forget many of those sound bites that I've said that are very important to helping you grow or helping you develop into a better athlete or a better trainer or a better coach. Having a video editor, they chop it up and make sure that one sound bite goes out, just like you hear on the reels, Facebook reels, Instagram reels. Those sound bites are what keep you looking at more and more and more and more, but they're not educational. They're just informative, that what you just heard exists and it puts your mind there for a split second. But education is when you double down on it. and you go in and start to learn and engulf yourself into it. The next thing that you got to be conscious of that resides behind or the impact of the dashboard is your brand awareness. Your brand and your messaging and what you are saying persistently is why and what comes of it. And this is your brand awareness. So, brand awareness doesn't make you money. Brand awareness is when you're watching the Super Bowl game, whether it's in the soccer, World Cup, or if it's baseball, doesn't matter. When those big giant games are going on, people are paying upwards of $2 million or better just to get a 15-second slot. So that this company that just came out with this awesome watch that actually reads your blood pressure and tells you how much food to eat is coming out. Are they expecting you to buy it? No, but they exist. Let's just say the company crypto. They put this video ad 15 seconds during the Super Bowl. And now everywhere you look, you see these little ads. So now when you see crypto, it's already implanted in your mind that this is a company that has juice. And that's brand awareness. The next thing that you got to learn how important it is for people like me who have millions of people that follow. How do they covet the people that land? And because you have people who are at the very top of combat or the very top of fitness or just people from television networks or head of organizations. When they get to your page, it has to speak that you are at that level. So you got to have clarity on what your landing pages look like. We have endorsements, companies we do business with, partners, people who've been in affiliation with us, all right there present. So once that person lands on that landing page, Kajabi, they understand who and what level of service that they are possibly going to invest in. So that nixes all of the confusion or any second thoughts. And that takes some experts because people are out here doing websites that, for one, does not have the right dashboard, or it simply just doesn't cut it for the elitist of level because you know it when you see it. And guess who set that trait? You did. When you go to a site, you're the roughest judge and you want perfection. Tell the truth. And that's why we tell you all to pay attention to what you're putting out there. And now the stakes are even much higher. So these things you can't operate. You have set the precedence of what the expectations are. When you go to Amazon, your expectations is to not hear a guy who doesn't have a professional mic, who doesn't have professionalism on his camera. You're not going to buy from a service that seems too cheap. You want quality stuff because you demand it and you have proven it by where you go and where you spend your money. How many bootleg websites have you spent money on? First, there's not security on that website, so you can get your stuff hacked, and you don't want that. You want people who have solid WordPress and Kajabi websites, which is where we are right now. Something that's secure, something that protects, something that will not allow hackers to get into your stuff. So you have to invest and not just, oh, well, I'm going to go grab this great Wix site because Wix is good for whatever else is good for, which is getting into the game. Getting into the game. But when you want to grow and be something big, you got to get past that little independent website stuff, and you got to get into being able to covet the kind of people you are trying to draw. And they know what a real website looks like. When they go to our site, they know this is a real website. Okay. Even the best of the best, they want to critique it, but the reality is, nah, it's above board. And so that's what that's why you're seeing everybody else keep taking off further and further. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting more confused and frustrated. And so you got to pay attention to the details. There are two type people. There are investors, and then there are fears, people who are fearful. They're embedded, they have fear, they're frozen, paralysis by analysis, while the investors are taking $100 and losing 150, find another 50, keep on putting into their faith. So investors have faith, hope, and a process, and people who live in fear have anxiety, lack of confidence, and anxiety. Which one are you? You're one or the other. And if you want your program to go to the next level, you got to be the investor. That means, so what? Worst case scenario, I spend all of my money learning, and then I'll get it back. There's a silver lining, but now you're coming back with more experience and you're learning more. So this time I'm giving you these kind of pearls. Then you got your funnels, and your funnels help you give options to people. You want to get into this, Apple Watch, or do you want to get this Apple Watch and a computer? I mean, Apple Watch and an iPad for 20% more. And then if you got that, then how about this new MacBook Pro? You can get a 30% discount on that too. So that, instead of spending 288 getting just a watch, or 500 getting a watch, you can get a watch and an iPad for 30% off. And an iPad could be $1,000. So you're looking at $1,500, but now you can get all of that for 1,100, 1,200 bucks. That's a big deal. Well, just say, for instance, 1,500, you take out 3, take out 5, so 5 from that, so that's 1,000, right? You're getting something basically free. Then you add a MacBook, and a MacBook Pro is upwards of 3,900. All right, so you're like, gosh, I don't have. You got credit, you can do it. You got credit cards, you can do those things. You don't have to worry about it now. So that's what an investor will do. They will invest in something where they get a great deal on, and they're going to make money off of it. And so that means I paid 5,000 bucks, but I'm going to make 100,000 bucks basically in the next 3 to 4 months with this same stuff that I only paid 5,000 for. That's how an investor thinks. So you got to invest in the direction that you're going. You don't, someone that lives in fear says, oh man, I can't afford $5,000. They don't think about it any further than that. And these guys will be doomed for success, and they will live in poverty. Specialists for your Google search optimization. So these are all the people that we have hired. Just a guy who does Google optimization, connecting your message from your website to your Google. There's a message, there's a ranking that Google has you in your site on how well your analytics, your keywords, and your dashboard has messaged Google and said, hey, we teach boxing. So anybody looking for boxing, this is kind of where they can find it. If you're in Australia, if you're in Canada, if you're in New Zealand, if you're in Hong Kong, it doesn't matter. You got to have optimization for your analytics for your website to the engine that's on your search board, whatever country you live in. So these things are necessary. And this is why your program isn't being successful as it can, because you're acting like this stuff doesn't work or matter, or it's totally supersedes you. You're the exception. No one's the exception. This is the dashboard protocol, and these are the kind of things that we do. We built the company because we knew that it's important to know how to do the skills and train people and work with people, fitness, nutrition, teaching people how to recover from certain injuries, and showing people the pathway to get to competitive boxing, or as a trainer to be one of the elite trainers. And what does that entail? How do you get from a novice trainer to a top trainer you get through that phase, and then you become what we call an educator, a teacher, and then professor level. And then you begin writing content and material because now you've reached a level that's where you are. You understand it, so you can write about it. And then you get to a place where you understand the business side of things, and you'll have to do these kind of things, conversating to people, have conversations with people that don't understand it. That's the position we're in. We built and branded Jab Juice Brand Wizards. We can take an athlete and build his entire brand, show him exactly how it works, because I've been able to have experiences in over maybe upwards of 50 training camps. When I started Facebook, I had only been like in, I think it was 14 training camps, world championship or championship training camps, top golden gloves, preparation for the Olympics, totally grooming Olympic coaches and being mentored by Olympic coaches, the best in the world ever in history. That's a big deal. So that's what we used all that experience for. And so don't think without a doubt that this isn't important and it doesn't pertain to you. It totally pertains to you, because when you get an athlete, you have to understand how to build them. If you don't have this dashboard going, you're just turning on your camera and going live and saying, we got an event, or posting a picture. You can kind of see why that doesn't work, because of you, because you're the person that requires a great website. When you go to, you require quality content that you're looking at that you possibly will buy, whether it's a watch or computer or a bracelet for your daughter or your girlfriend. You go to a website and your expectations are high. So your company's website, your page, and all of that have to be that way because you said so. That makes sense. And how do you get that? Jab Juice Brandon Wizards is one of the ones. So you take liberty to realize we haven't even gotten into the marketing of how you get this stuff across. Do you want to learn this stuff? Or do you want your company to grow? Because if your company grows, that's why it'll grow. That's how we are totally piercing. It went from 6 million reach a month to nearly 11 million that we're reaching across our social media board. That's not including the people that go into the website and finding it organically. All right. So you're talking about another group of people, whether it's a million a month or 100,000 a month. These are people that are totally out of our circle and getting into our circle. So how well would your business do if 100,000 more people knew about you? How many people could at that point you can convince to double down with you because of what they see, your call to action? That's where your copywriters are come into play. And if you want to learn that stuff, we have that master class. So look at this, and this will be in the comments below. So you got to take liberty to say, I want more. I want more. I want this stuff. How do I get there? So make sure you go to jabjuice.com. Jabjuice.com. Biggest thing that you want to take away from this is you find a place that you don't have to worry about not knowing anymore, because we got you. Now you want to stay around for this, because this is a surprise that we have for our guys. One of our guys, because they're in our mastermind course, a call costs nothing. So, do the knowledge. Jabjuice.com, like you see right there. We have a surprise for one of our guys that we're going to show you how all of these crazy things look going in the dashboard, how a company looks when they're running this, and how does it impact you. You will get to see a company that's in a position that wants more help, needs more help, and we will show you how to do this. Uh, and here we go. Freeport Fitness, which it should be boxing fitness. We will be doing a very powerful campaign because they are in our web with the mastermind, learning how much it takes for business. And then at that point, once you see it, do you have the people around you that volunteer to help? Uh, if you don't, then you say, "All right, coach, um, and let's take this next endeavor, and let's fix this, and let's take what I got to another level, and jump into the jab juice, and let jab juice run this thing at least until it's on autopilot." I hope this is making sense because you probably been kicking yourself. Don't kick yourself. Don't kick yourself, but you got to blame yourself because it's you. It's you that require simplified purchases and simplified clarity. A company has to be clear to you. That's the only way you buy from them. Now, if you go to your pages, it's not simple and it's not easy to buy. It's not easy to understand because you don't have specialists on board, copywriters. You don't have people who are working your mini chat. You don't have your WordPress website or Kajabi connected. Your landing pages, meaning you got to have your meta pixels there. You got to make sure that you have total messaging going and structure of your campaign. You have to script this out, so you got to have strategic planning. And that is a lot. If you are locked up just thinking about it, then guess what can happen to your career? You can be like the people who live in fear, or you can decide, I'm going to invest now because that means the worst thing that can happen is I learned the most immense lesson that will not let me make that mistake again, but it'll catapult me into the I know lane. That means I know how to do this. I know how to operate now. I know how this all works. Now I can galvanize my team and get this done, or I can hire the people that I know how to do this, and they have all of the people. And I can give you names. I can just basically say, all right, in the video editor world, you got Nick, who's a specialist. South Florida, you got a person that connects and makes sure your Google Analytics, I mean your YouTube optimization is done, so your message is connecting up here to your sites, right? That's from your YouTube world. That is Adriana. You got Laura, who puts you in a position where you're seeing the biggest and the best opportunities to speak your voice in front of an audience, seminars, and showing people that you are the authority in your niche. And that's what people will start to appreciate. And then you got Scott, who's just a Google nerd and knows how to make that thing connect down here to the earth in which you're operating from. Special shouts out to Scott. Boynton Beach is in the house. And then you have our super mini chat people. We got two. And so you can't even imagine what that costs. Claudia, who has created specific software that works like, and when I said automation, that's automation. And Jamaica, who creates that page where when you're going up here and you're talking to us and it's telling you, it's almost like a person, so our messages don't get lost and people don't get confused and lost. They get caught in the web and they feel embraced, and that's what they expect. They expect to have somebody speak to them. There was a time you can message a page and not get a response at all, but now we got these things in place. And then you have directors who navigate people and point people in the right direction. and people who structure our messages and make sure that we have people who are talking for you to get you in positions and making sure that you're getting on podcasts and building your brands in the right places. And that's PR. These things all come into this. That's how Master Boxing is a global power. It started out learning, and now it is what it is. It's the real deal. So if you want to get your business in that place, make sure you set up a call with us. The comments are down there, jabjuice.com. You don't need to get on a call with us. You need to figure out what we require for you to get started in our mastermind. And that is not about why I did this. I did this so you guys have an infrastructure of what actually is happening when you go to all of these people's pages and they are just doing hundreds of thousands of views. I just put a video up that's at 100,000. I put it up the day before yesterday, and it's doing 100,000. And you're like, how's this happening? You're going to learn how to do all of that stuff, and you're going to see how that sequence is built out, and learning the difference between investor mindset, which are the people that'll be wealthy, and then people who live in fear. You don't ever think you're going to get rich, so you're going to live in fear. Understand the mindset of the people that are out here doing it, the influencers today. You're an influencer if you're a gym owner. So now is your time to take this and say, I'm not going to live in fear, because it's obvious living in fear does not bring me anything. So special shouts out to you for taking part in Jab Juice and the conversations, because we're going to show you and really give you some inspiration, and that we got your back, and that you don't have to think twice. And I'm going to say to you, we sacrifice every single day, but we also grow every single day. And until then, special shouts out to Thomas. Congratulations. We will be walking step by step with Freeport Boxing Fitness program to show you and do all of these things that we just did and showed you how to do. So be ready, ante up, and there is no doubt that you're going to feel the impact of what happens when you do this. Nobody has down the sales. Nobody has down how to just have tons of people coming to your door, because if you did, you wouldn't need much more. But you don't, and this is how you get it. You need sales when you can't close deals. You need campaigns and ads when you don't have enough people coming through your door. And if you can't keep people in your door, under your roof, that means you need programming, and not just the boxing, but how does that connect to the fitness programming? So you need to make sure that you get into the programming, so you'll learn how to get people into it and keep them in it, and the best people come. And that's it, man. That's all I got. Make sure you register, set up a call, jabjuice.com for all of our guys who are ready. And know your gym needs that attention. Know you want to spread and pick up your pieces and take it and put it on your back and becoming into the investor mindset. You're investing in your destiny. You're not scared of your destiny. And let's do it. And if not, we'll keep moving, because we're about to open up one of the most powerful and impactful facilities in the world to date. And for those of you who are in our mastermind and the top of the top trainer you programming during the process, you will all have an opportunity to share what you do on our platform. There is no doubt. So get pumped up, man, because we're going to take great onus in seeing you reach the pinnacle and say, finally, I wasn't scared, because there's no room in the circle for fear. And that's it. That's all I got. Contact us. Let's get you straight and give you these definite ammunition pieces that's going to take your program to the next level without a doubt. Until next time, continued blessings from the brothers in the School of Boxing. And I'll see you guys soon in the winner's circle. Special shouts out to my brothers and congratulations to Freeport Boxing Fitness. It's about to go down. Let's do it.